Hey everyone, this is Louis7, and in this video I wanted to do the new model review for the humans and the elves. And quickly before that I want to touch on the high elves, that I actually like these models a lot, and this is my high elf captain that I made a couple days ago. And I like that model a lot. I think I like it better than at least the old race of man and elves. So one minor thing with the high elves in particular is how sharp their ears look, and they look like daggers sharply pointed right there. That's just one little thing that bothers me about it. So based on just model aesthetics alone and ignoring animations and the related things that I haven't really had a time to see, I would give the high elf models a 9 out of 10. And I like the male and female models for them. They would probably both get a 9 out of 10 each. So for the elf, my first reaction of the new elf model was on my RuneKeeper on a stream a few days ago, and that was that I did not like it. From far away it looks like an angry little goblin. I don't know what it is about it, but far away like this my elf just looks like an angry goblin. And this definitely bothers me, but up close it does look better, so if I zoom in. And another thing is, you might have noticed when I zoomed in, the character model is displaced and not center. And this also happens in game, so it's an issue, not just on the login screen. So he is to, like, what would be his right of the camera or my left. And this is definitely annoying, like when I try to zoom in on my character. And I noticed this does happen with the avatar updates off, so if I turn that off the same thing happens, so that's kind of annoying. And it could just be a separate issue from the updated models. So overall I like the male elf better when close up, but less from far away. Of note, my lore master, who wears a fitting wizard's hat, the issues from far away are less noticeable, so he doesn't really look quite as much like an angry goblin to me. It could just be because it's hiding the top of his head and his ears and his hair, but that does at least help the issue for me. For female elves, I really like the update, so if I go back to my elf minstrel, so this is what the female elves look like, and I like the hairstyles. They're changed quite a bit, because there are some that I didn't like back with the old avatars, kind of like this hairstyle I didn't really like with the old avatars, and this one I now do. But there are quite a few hairstyles like that that I think are much better with the update. And the females, when I zoom out, do not really look like angry goblins, and they still do look good from far away to me. And I think overall the female models were just much better done. And the only thing I would really have to complain about them is the ears. Once again, it's hard to tell with this in particular hairstyle, but once again they're very sharp and pointy. But another thing is the ears just look like they're cut of styrofoam and then drawn on. It just doesn't really seem to match the rest of the character and looks very out of place. So to rate the elves in this updated model, I would give them a 6 out of 10 overall, and in particularly I would split 3 out of 10 for the males and give 9 out of 10 for the females. The males could definitely use some reworking with maybe lighting in their eyes and eyebrows to not look so angry all the time, and the females have little wrong in comparison with them. So the race of man is another race that got the model updates the Hobbit and Dwarves did not. Before, I didn't really like men or women too much in LOTRO. Besides hobbits and dwarves, my least favorite characters were actually human men. So that is one reason I really wanted a high elf captain. So my first reaction was actually quite the opposite to the elf reaction I had. I thought my champion looked a lot better. So I think he just looks a lot better after the update, but he looks a little bit addicted to drugs, but otherwise good. Everything I think from the neck up where they did the new update looks a lot improved. So if I go back to the old one, this is what he looks like, and I just think this new one's a lot better. So if I go back to my captain here, I actually don't think he looks quite as good as my champion, but I think if I change his face and do some things in the character customization when you make them, like use a different head option, I think I would like him a lot more. So I can change that at the barber for that character and it wouldn't be a problem, which is good. So for the women, I went to my warden first to check, and I think she looks a lot better with the update. So if I turn this off, this is what my warden looked like before. And it's mostly similar texture wise, but it's just, I think, a lot improved and she just looks better. My burglar has the same thing, I just think she looks better with the new update. For the humans, the race of man, their ears have similar problems to the elves, but it's a lot less noticeable, and I don't even think as much of an issue, but the ears just still look way out of place, and I could just be noticing this now because I'm paying attention to it, but I never really thought it was that bad before. Another thing to note is right here around where their head meets their neck and back of the head. There's kind of a line there, and it's really noticeable. It could get a bit annoying and definitely does not flow with the rest of the body. So that's just something to note if you're looking at the new updated models. So overall, there's much less to complain or praise about the Race of Man avatars. They're improved over the previous versions but aren't quite perfect. They do get a much better rating than the Elves at an 8 out of 10, with maybe a 7 out of 10 for the males and 9 out of 10 for the females again. So overall, I think the new models for humans and elves are an improvement over the old ones. There are definitely some annoyances that I have gone over, but I will keep using the new ones because I do like them better. So I am logged in on my lore master now, and the issue with the character models being uncentered is definitely worse with characters with hats like my lore master. So I am logged on him now, and you can see when I zoom in, I am actually zooming in closer to where the mouse is right now and not where the character is. Where I would rather zoom is around his face, but it doesn't do that, and he's like way out of place. And that, even if I'm just zoomed in this much, it's definitely out of place and bothersome. So I do think the new models are pretty solid, but they do have some flaws. I would end up giving this total model update with the elves and humans a 7 out of 10. So that will be it for this little model review part of Mordor. I plan to do one of the hobbits and dwarves when they come out. I don't think Bjornings are planned to get one because they're pretty updated and a fairly new class and race. So that will be it for this video. I hope you all enjoyed, and thanks for watching.